In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? I have been conventional in my trailer when it comes to the narrative conventions, as I have followed the theory of Todorov, in which he says that a film must follow a sequence in order to be successful. He says that there must be equilibrium at the beginning, in which life is normal, and then there must be a disruption, which then leads to recognition from the characters, who then attempt to repair, and finally finishing with a solution. My film storyline follows this order and is conventional to all genres, and especially to the genre social realism. I know that this is conventional as it can be seen in all trailers that I have analysed, including Shank, Ill Manners, Kidulthood and This Is England. It can be seen when the main character, Ian, walks normally in front of some garages around the estate in which he lives. Stage 2 can be seen when Ian is on the phone to another character and he puts the phone down in anger and then slams his hands against the side of the phone booth. Stage 3 can be seen when the car boot is shutting down in darkness from the perspective of the character. And finally, Stage 4 can be seen when the second character, Phil, is hitting Ian around the stomach with a baseball bat. And so my trailer is conventional as it shows all of the necessary parts that all of the social realism trailers do, and is also non-linear and so doesn't tell the story. This order makes my trailer conventional, as in the trailer Ill Manners, the main character can be seen knocking on the front door, which is stage 1. Stage 2 can be seen when the same character can be seen asking the man a question which causes a violent response. Stages 3 and 4 can be seen in the montage. I have been both conventional and unconventional when it comes to the genre conventions and the theory of Rick Altman, whose theory is semantic and syntactic. Semantic is the iconography of the genre that must appear in a film for it to be that genre, and syntactic is the plots and themes that must occur in the film for it to be that genre. I have been conventional with some of the mise-en-scène because the main character, Ian, for the majority of the time is wearing joggers and t-shirts. However, I have developed this as near the end of the trailer he is sometimes wearing jeans, which is unconventional for the stereotypical gangster in a social realist film. The character also does not at any point wear a baseball cap, which is one of the most iconographic pieces in a social realist film, as they do in most other social realist films such as Ill Manners, Shank and Kidulthood. And so this is unconventional. More conventional items that I have not used include balaclavas and mass amounts of jewellery. The reason I have done this is because the main character is white, and so I felt he did not need all of the jewellery because these items are generally associated with the black gangster and not the white ones. I have been mainly conventional when it comes to institutional conventions. However, I have been unconventional in some aspects, as I have included a green screen at the beginning of my trailer which has an age restriction of 18. However, those under the age are able to watch it with an accompanying adult or parent. I have put this age restriction on it because there is strong language throughout the film. I have, however, been extremely conventional with my choice of distributor and where it has been placed in my trailer, as I have used Revolver as my distributor and have placed it at the beginning of my film, just like all of the other trailers that I have analysed. I have also been conventional with the billing block's shape and location in the film, as I have used a square-shaped billing block as opposed to the pyramid shape that some other film genres use because it matches the social realism genre, and I have also placed it in an appropriate place as it is the final shot of the trailer and then fades into darkness to finalise the trailer. The billing block also has a line underneath it with icons of the producers and distributors of the film, which is also conventional and can be seen at the end of the trailers for Ill Manners, Kidulthood and Shank. Representation conventions include places, people and events, and within these conventions I have been both conventional and unconventional. I have been conventional and so have used the conventions from the social media trailers I have analysed through some of the events that occur in my film, as the main character gets involved in gang culture at such a relatively young age. However, I have also been unconventional because the main character in the film is white, and in any of the other films I have looked at, the character has been black, which connotes that it is unconventional to have a white character, and so I have challenged the genre here. I have been conventional with the places as well, as the setting in the film are all taken from the inner city, and often they contain areas that are stereotypically linked to council estates, which is where stereotypically gangsters live and commit their crime. I have used certain places such as a train bridge with lots of graffiti on it, and I have also used lots of built-up areas in which the crime tends to happen. Places like this can be seen in trailer of This Is England, in which the characters can be seen under a bridge where there is lots of graffiti around them. The cinematography conventions are mainly developed as the most of the shots in my trailers are stationary, which are what can mainly be seen in the trailers I have analysed. However, in the trailers I have analysed, they often contain the odd pan, tilt or track, and although I have used a track in the shots where I am speeding up the traffic, it is not being used in the same way as the other trailers use it. I have, however, been conventional when it comes to the final shot, as all of the trailers that I have analysed use an action to end with. For instance, in my trailer, Phil stamps on the camera to finish the action shots and the montage, and then the title will appear. This also exists in other trailers of the social realism genre. It occurs in Ill Manners, where the main character points a gun at the camera. It occurs in Shank, where one of the characters punches the camera, and it also exists in Kidulthood, where the character swings a baseball bat across the camera. The typography and the captions are mainly conventional, as I've used stereotypical fonts to the genre. I've used steel tongs for the billing block, as this is what all of the trailers I have watched use. It makes it look like a professional finish. This professional finish can be found on the billing block of Ill Manners, This Is England, Shank and Kidulthood. For the titles within all of my media products, I have used the font Broken Detroit, which is a developed convention, as although it is sans serif to give the film a modern look, just like all of the others in the social realism genre, I've used a font which has an effect on it, whereas all of the trailers I have analysed use a plain sans serif font. The text for the reviews on the trailer has the impact font, whereas on the other media products I've made, they used the font Krungthep. The only reason this has occurred is because I didn't realise until I had already finished them and put them online. My editing conventions are mainly challenged within my trailer, which is doing the opposite to the genre I am doing, as every single shot cuts to the next until it comes to the billing block, in which that shot fades and then fades back out to finish the trailer off. Although the trailers I have analysed have lots of cuts, they also include dissolves, edits and fade edits. My trailer contains a montage at the end of the film, and so over the whole of the trailer it speeds up, which is conventional for all trailers. However, my sound conventions are also mainly unconventional because I didn't use any dialogue in my trailer specifically, although you do hear Ian at the end of the trailer with heavy breathing. I do, however, have narration, which you only get so many chances before people forget about you. To change this, I need to make sacrifices. But the choice of sacrifice will determine the overall outcome. I have made choices, but were they the right choices to make? It is in only one of the trailers that I've analysed, Ill Manners, and so this is unconventional. However, I've done the narration instead of the dialogue to create more backstory for the viewer, and so therefore they will be able to understand better what the storyline of the film is about. My soundtrack is conventional though, because it has a quiet soundtrack at the beginning of the trailer during the slow shots, and then it changes around the middle of the trailer to a bit more upbeat hip-hop rap soundtrack to match the fast montage shots that appear on screen. The sound effects are also conventional because although they do not appear as much and do not have a very large variety, they still exist in the significant places of the film to give an exaggeration on specific events that occur in the trailer. My poster is conventional when it comes to the narrative conventions because my poster has a general picture which is based around the equilibrium, and as 2 of the 4 posters I have analysed have their posters generally based in this section of the movie, it connotes that for social realism the poster should be set in the equilibrium. The character in my poster has no action occurring and therefore is only there to show himself as being the main character of the film. This is conventional to the social realism genre, as the only poster to show its characters doing actions is the Shank poster. Genre conventions are mixed and contain some conventional items and some unconventional items. For instance, the character on my poster is wearing trainers, which is conventional to the genre. However, the character is also wearing jeans, and this is seen as unconventional, as the stereotypical clothing for the social realist gangster is joggers. However, I have given my character jeans in the poster to show a different side to the gangster world, and that it doesn't just occur with teens in joggers and hoodies, but the same type of crime occurs amongst the lower middle class as well as the working class. My institutional conventions are unconventional on my poster because my building block is in the shape of a diamond, and only one of the film posters that I have analysed has this shape, whereas all of the others either has a different style of diamond or the more conventional rectangle or square. I have, however, used the conventional font steel tongs on my building block, as I have done on all of my media products. I have also included relevant institutions, as Revolver appears on 3 of the posters I have analysed, along with the National Lottery Fund appearing on 3 as well. The size of my font used in the building block and the size of the institutional icons is also conventional, as I have used 1112 font for the building block and the icons are roughly the same size as well. The representation of the place shown in the poster is conventional and stereotypical for the social realism genre, because all of the posters that I have analysed have some sort of city, council estate background to show the setting of where the film is, and so this is the reason that I have put the background there for this effect. The character on the front of my poster is stereotypical for the social realism genre, as he has enough of the stereotypical clothing on him so that it is easily noticeable that he is the main character in a social realist film in which he will get into trouble with drugs and alcohol. The cinematography conventions of my poster are mainly unconventional. However, there is one thing about it that is conventional, and that is that the character is giving direct address to the person looking at the poster. And as this appears on 3 of the 4 posters that I have analysed, it shows that it is conventional to this genre. The unconventional parts of my poster start with the fact that there is only one character on the entire poster. The reason this is unconventional is because only one of the 4 that I analysed have used the one character, Ill Manners. The reason I have used this unconventional item is because my film is based around the one character and how he gets into the gang and not about the gang itself. The shot type I've used is a long shot, which is a developed element to my poster, as in analysed posters they use a variety including medium long shot and very long shot to show either the one character or many characters all at the same time. The reason that I haven't used a very long shot is because the other posters use this technique along with the composition to place the characters in order, and I didn't need to as I only had one character. I have also used reviews on my poster, which is conventional as 3 of the analysed posters use them. This gives the audience some information as to who might like the film. This can be told from who the review was made by. An example of my review is FHM, and so therefore people who read FHM are more likely to go and see it because the magazine they buy is publicising it as being unmissable. My tagline is developed as it is conventional to the fact that there is a statement, however it is unconventional as the statement includes the title. The only other film to do this is Kidulthood. Website. My website is very similar to the poster as I have used the same picture of the character on both. However, I have used a separate background and this time it is an overlooked city landscape. The reason I have done this is because the audience will already know it is set on a council estate, as they will most likely have seen the poster. However, this does not tell them whether or not it is set in the city centre or the suburbs, and apart from the unique website conventions, there are no other differences between the two in terms of cinematography, representation, institutional, genre, and narrative conventions. The unique website conventions include things such as social networks, and as I have used the social networks on my website, it makes it conventional to the social realism genre. I have used Twitter, which only appears on the most recent films. However, I have also used Facebook, which appears on older films. I have also used Synergy, which appears at the bottom right of my website. I have used cinemas, in which the audience will be able to click and see what times the film is on at their local cinema, which therefore creates more viewers for me and more customers for the cinemas. The navigation bar is also another unique website convention, and as mine appears on the left-hand side of the page in a vertical list, it is unconventional, as the other websites that I have analysed all have their navigational bars in a horizontal list either at the top of the page or at the bottom. The reason I have put my navigation bar on the left-hand side is because that way it is easy to find. This is because on most websites in general, their navigation bar is on the left, and so naturally the audience would look to find it that way.